Good evening everybody. I am presenting my research proposal. Right now this is the title of my research thesis, but I have got a comment to change it. I am thinking about it. So, examination of the current status of teaching mathematics using iPads. I am looking at the case of higher education in the United Arab Emirates. Now, it all actually comes under the broad umbrella of mobile learning, mobile devices. It does not mean the mobile phone, any device that is mobile and has the computing abilities. It has been used for teaching in schools and universities. There is a lot of literature available, but not so much about teaching mathematics using mobile devices. In fact, the reality is that mathematics has been taught with calculators for so many years, and now the calculators are being replaced by mobile devices, maybe mobile phone or the graphic calculator with some computing abilities or iPads. So, and as we all know that in the United Arab Emirates recently there is initiative where all federal universities are using iPads for teaching all subjects, not only mathematics. So, I am going to look into the particular subject, that is mathematics, how it has been used. iPads have been used for teaching mathematics. So, I have decided to look at the foundation level courses. The reason for choosing foundation level courses is that the iPad initiative has been launched just recently. So, right now foundation students, they all have iPads, but over the years maybe everybody will be using iPads. So, my focus is about the federal universities, the foundation year and mathematics. I have kept my slides to the minimum number of slides, but I may talk about it. It is not sensing. Okay. Yeah. So, the main theme of the research, I want to examine the current practices of teaching mathematics with iPads. My research question: since the introduction of this iPad initiative, up to what extent iPads are being used for teaching mathematics in universities in the UAE? Next research question, again it comes to important stakeholders of this project, students and teachers. How do they perceive the suitability of iPads to learn mathematics? How are students using iPads in studying mathematics in the classroom and outside the classroom? Because one of the main theme of using mobile devices in learning is to make them independent learners and to remove the restrictions of locations. They should be able to study anywhere, anytime. So, is that really happening? This is what I want to investigate. So, in those classrooms where iPads have been used for teaching mathematics, if there is some kind of group activity, what kind of interactions take place, how do students learn from each other, and how the collaborative learning enriches their experience, not just about mathematics, but about using the tool. So, this is what I want to explore. Now, there are several theories which are used for investigating such questions. Of course, I have to look at learning theories because it is all about learning. So, there is one component of learning theory which I am going to use, and then there are other theories. One is the theory of instrumentation. This theory provides a framework for understanding how cognitive development is affected by tools. So, the tool in my thesis is the iPad and specific apps which are used for teaching mathematics. And then there is semiotic theory. It links cognitive functioning to symbols and signs. Mathematics is all about symbols and signs. On top of that, how the apps provide these symbols and signs, and do they make it easy for students to learn, or what is the status? So, some apps, they have very good semiotic potential, some apps they do not have. I want to investigate what kind of apps being used for teaching mathematics. And I have referred to the theory which is commonly used in the field of human computer interaction. So, it is all about how students interact with the tool, and that theory is activity theory. It is kind of combination of these two, the instrumentation theory and semiotic theory, but it adds one layer of collaboration. So, the main component of the activity theory, there are three components: actor, object and community. And the theory says that there is a goal for using that tool. The student wants to achieve that goal, and it is a function of these three parameters. And the interaction or the actor's relationship with the tool, it is moderated or affected by community. So, this has to be explored in the classroom. So, there will be one research question which will be analyzed on the principles of this activity theory. I am putting the research approach according to each research question. This question will be explored or examined using quantitative approach. Next one also quantitatively. Next one also quantitatively. There is a major component of quantitative study, but since I am using activity theory, I have to use a qualitative component, because the interactions or the communication, it has to be observed qualitatively. So, the last question is qualitative, for which I am going to use the method of class observation. So, I plan to distribute a survey in the beginning, and then I will ask the teachers if they are willing to participate. So, those who are willing to participate, I will go and observe their classes. This is my plan. What do I expect? Now, when we expect students to use tools, it is not just about pressing keys, there is something more than that, because mathematics has different branches, geometry, algebra, and they are all interlinked. So, the main purpose of using tools is to give them this experience, how math is connected. They should be able to change their perception, and the tool used should enrich their learning experience. They should be able to see the utility and the beauty of mathematics. So, the tools should be used with this purpose, and it does not mean when we ask them to use tools, they may become very dependent on it, but that is not the idea. If we really want to make good use of these tools, we should see that they are not just using the tools, but they go beyond it. That means, they develop the ability to decide which tool to use, which is appropriate, how to use it, and when to do without the tool. So, are they really achieving this ability? So, this is the expected outcome, and there is some reality. So, is there any gap between actual and expected outcome? This is what I want to examine. So, if there is a gap, then we need to think about developing proper pedagogy or developing proper assessment techniques, so that they go beyond the tools just as buttons and machines, they go and see the real application of mathematics. So, I have focused my research only on this pedagogy, learning, assessment issues. I am not going to cover the aspects of infrastructure. I am not going to examine the policies related topics. I find that since I am using the mixed method research approach, I will not be able to generalize everything that I find. So, this is one of the limitations. I plan to expand it further by doing similar research in the universities which are not federal universities. They may be using iPads, they may be using other devices. I can extend this study by going to these universities. And if I find that okay, these students, they are not able to really understand mathematics with the chosen apps, maybe then we have to devise a new app which will be appropriate for all these expectations. So, this is what I expect from my work. So, I made it short.